Stimulus to the Senate floor.
The Senate being equally divided, the Vice President votes in the affirmative.
But first, all 600 pages are being read aloud. And dogs over drugs.
We have to get out of this paradigm of basically, frankly, providing various types of drugs to our vets.
A congressman from South Florida looking for a service dog solution. It's all coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Zitlali Solachik, and today is Friday, March 5th, 2021.
From the South Florida Media Network's Biscayne-based studios in North Miami, this is SFMN Newsbreak.
I object.
The objection is heard. The clerk will continue the reading.
As the American Rescue Act of 2021, Section 2, Table of Contents.
The U.S. Senate having to pull an all-nighter, hearing every word of the 600-page COVID relief bill. The reading started in the afternoon yesterday and ended early this morning. Through our partnership with CNN, we are bringing you this story from our reporter, Britt Conway.
And the people of this country have suffered far too much for too long. We need to relieve that suffering. The American Rescue Plan does just that.
That plan is in the hands of the Senate now, and the division is painfully clear. Starting at 3:20 Thursday afternoon, all 628 pages of the $1.9 trillion bill were read aloud. And yes, that means everything.
Table of contents for this act is as follows.
The reading took more than 10 and a half hours until just after 2 o'clock Friday morning, a delay tactic by Republican Senator Ron Johnson of Wisconsin. Hours later, they're back for the vote-a-rama, when they'll vote on amendments to the bill. And Johnson said he might move to stretch out that process, too. Republicans say the bill calls for too much spending and too little bipartisanship along the way.
The only thing bipartisan about their bill was the opposition to it.
At the end of the day, there was a lot of spending that really can't be accounted for.
That the $1.9 trillion plan has good objectives, but it's massively misdirected.
But Democrats say now is the time to be bold.
Put the money into the economy to make sure that we can recover quickly.
You've got to get the funding out there, and you've got to make sure our economy is strong.
And the majority leader says he expects the Senate to finish the bill this week.
Help is on the way.
Britt Conway reporting.
Former University of Miami and pro football player Kellen Winslow Jr. will spend the next 14 years behind bars. Winslow was sentenced yesterday in Southern California. It comes as part of a plea deal for his conviction on charges of rape, incident exposure, and lewd conduct in public. The conviction was handled down in 2019. Pope Francis arrived in Iraq earlier this morning. This was the first papal visit in Iraq. The Pope's trip also includes a Catholic church that was attacked by terrorists a decade ago.
We need someone to stand with us because we live in a jungle controlled by political monsters.
The Supreme Pontiff will visit the church that saw the worst massacre of Christians during a 2010 terrorist attack. Tiger King star Joe Exotic has written a tell-all memoir while serving a 22-year federal prison sentence. The former zoo owner is serving a prison sentence over a murder-for-hire plot to kill his rival, Big Cat Rescue CEO Carol Baskin. The book titled Tiger King, the official tell-all memoir, includes passages about his troubled upbringing and dangerous rivals with other animal keepers. Your Miami Heat got back to their winning ways last night against the New Orleans Pelicans. Jimmy Butler was back in action after sitting out because of a right knee inflammation. He was brilliant with 29 points and 9 rebounds. Kelly Olynyk had a double-double with 18 points and 10 rebounds. The Heat will go on a much-deserved break because of the All-Star weekend, then get back to action next Thursday. A local congressman who is a veteran himself is making a push to get the VA to pay for service dogs. That's still ahead, and so is this story.
My hair, unfortunately, it is a political statement.
It's called the Crown Act, and it's big news for women who embrace their natural hair. Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
3 months ago, there weren't enough masks. We were desperately sourcing from all over the world. People were making face coverings from scarves, bandanas, and bits of fabric. Now there are plenty of masks, but some people don't want to wear them. Come on. Mask up, America.
You're the engine that makes all things go, and you're always in disguise, my hero. I see your light in the dark, smile in my face when we all know it's hard. You're doing a good job, a good job. You're doing a good job, don't get too down. The world needs you now, know that you matter, matter.
Touchdown! Oh, did you see that? Whoa, we scored? Yeah, we scored, going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. What? I should take your phone away. No, I'll call for a ride. Wait, why does my face look like that? I'm playing with these new face filters. Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine. Kevin, I need that back. No. Kevin!
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Pets for Vets. A new proposal seeks a four-legged treatment for former soldiers. A bipartisan group of lawmakers are implementing that the Department of Veterans require service dogs for veterans with post-traumatic stress disorder. Florida Representative John Rutherford, along with Boynton and Beach's Michael Watts, who is a veteran himself, introduced it yesterday.
The providers should have a full menu of options, whether it's service dogs, whether it's hyperbaric chambers, whether it's different types of therapies. But we have to get out of this paradigm of basically, frankly, providing various types of drugs to our vets when we can have these alternative types of treatments.
The Veterans Affairs does not currently fund service dogs to treat PTSD, but Representative Waltz says it's time to look beyond therapy and medication. Connecticut just became the 8th state to pass the Crown Act. The Crown Act is a bill for women of color to embrace their natural hair. The network's Raquel Lewis has this.
The Crown Act is a nationwide movement that aims to end discrimination against race-based hairstyles. One study found that Black women with natural hairstyles were perceived to be less professional, less competent, and less likely to be recommended for a job. We spoke to several women about their experiences with their natural hair.
I think that society, and I don't want to include myself because I don't have that prejudice, I use my hair in a way that makes me feel comfortable, but I think that society still needs to work on accepting. And even people still need to work on accepting themselves. I don't use my hair in an afro, so I don't want to contradict myself. We don't do anything wrong. Society needs to respect that we should be able to wear our hair however we want. One day you'll see former First Lady Michelle Obama wearing straight hair, and the next day you'll see her with curly hair. Beyoncé can wear a long wig that reaches her knees, and the next day you'll see her with an afro. The message that this sends is that we are more than the hairstyles we use.
A lot of people call this style dreadlocks, and that's a derogatory term. The root word of that coming from dreadful, and there's nothing dreadful about locks, about Black hair in general. So the name of this style is locks, and that's spelled L-O-C-S. My hair, unfortunately, it is a political statement. I wish it was not a political statement. I wish that politics and red tape and those sort of elitist verbiage and terms could be executed from the discussion of self-expression and natural expression.
8 states have passed the Crown Act, recently Connecticut being one of them. State Representative Camia Brown of Orange County, Florida wants to put Florida on that list. Introducing to legislation this year, Bill HB 179. Raquel Lewis reporting for the South Florida Media Network.
That's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Sitlali Solate. Get more news anytime at sfmn.fiu.edu.